Good Tuesday morning. It is morning coffee. I am Ann White, the founder of Creating Calm Network, and I am here with my morning coffee. Oh, I got my Starbucks cup. I'm not really advertising because it isn't Starbucks coffee. And today we're going to be talking about the power of the doodle. But with me, first of all, in the closet with her coffee is Kat Majendi, author, photographer, and a woman of many talents. Good morning, Kat.
Morning.
And I know you're not feeling up to snuff today, so you're back in your closet.
Yes. That was pitiful.
I know, poor you. And your boyfriend is shoved into the underwear drawer because he's pouting, so we even have a pouting
He's jealous,
puppet.
he's pouting.
A pouting puppet. And from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is Angie Ledbetter. Good morning, Angie. And you have two dogs at your house this morning.
Right. You hear them tussling in the other room?
Yeah, I heard a little tussle. Tussles are escalating. And Angie has been teaching us about the doodle. And last week we talked more about the power of the doodle, but Angie, would you just give us a little more of an introduction to where doodling came from or how we understand doodling, that it's not just a waste of time? Because, you know, one of my problems with starting to doodle was I was always in trouble for doodling, and I had to realize that it's not a bad thing, but I know in school I was always getting in trouble because I was making doodles instead of my notes. So I'm getting over that.
Good for you. Go against the grain. It's like when old-timey days, not too long ago, when they would bind your left hand or whack you on the hand if you tried to write left-handed. I think it's the same thing with doodling. The teachers and the powers that be thought that was just a waste of time and you weren't paying attention, but it's actually the opposite. If your hand is doodling, it really brings your mind into focus. A study I just read from some psychologist group, that 29% of people in a meeting who doodled during the meeting retained more information. So it's actually helping you to focus.
Right, and it seems to unleash creativity for one thing. So I kind of like that part. Let me see. Kat is in her closet with a smile on your face. Is somebody in the closet with you, or what's what's going on?
I was pouring some French press, and I didn't know if it was making too much noise. I'm sorry. There.
So you wanted us to know that is not your stomach gurgling. It is actually your French press.
It's not in the bathroom with us. You're in.
Oh, of course not. I'm too much a lady for that.
Kat, have you doodled at all this week?
No, I have not.
You're saving.
I have to say, I have not. I've been recovering from my trip, so and I've been very busy catching up. So. Actually, I did do a doodle, though, that I put on Angie's page that I realized I do a lot of mazes. I'd forgotten about that. I do a lot of intricate mazes. So I found that interesting.
Yeah. And a maze would be in a doodle, wouldn't it, Angie?
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Freud would probably say Kat's making mazes so she can figure out how to get in and out of things and be in control.
Yeah, since there's never any, all the openings are closed off, and the places to get out are closed off, so I trap myself inside.
Right, I trap myself inside. I want you to write that 100 times.
And for those of us who are coming in and don't know, Catherine Majendi is an author of award-winning books, wonderful books, Sweetie, The Lightning Charmer, and she's working on another book now. So maybe that's why you're trapped inside, so you will stay in focus and get your book done for us.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a breakout coming. Who knows? Stay tuned. Yeah. One of the things I found where doodles can come in handy, and I don't know if it is taking away from mindfulness, but living alone, I have a habit of eating at my computer, and I'm trying to break that eating at the computer habit. So I've been eating at my table, my dining table, and again, that's just kind of boring sitting there by yourself eating. So I doodled while I was eating at my table. And,
that's beautiful.
Those little tiny circles.
Yes.
But then again, maybe I'm defeating the purpose of eating alone and being mindful. So, but I think this seemed mindful, but we'll see. So.
And look at what you have. That's way better than sitting there eating an extra half a bag of chips. You have something beautiful from it. And all you have to do is take that to the print shop or UPS or Kinko's or whatever and have them printed out on cards to send to friends and family.
See, there you have it. You know, one of the things Angie and I were talking about just before we got started is the blank page. The blank page, I think, is what stops people who want to make art, who want to make doodles, who are authors and want to start. It was a dark and stormy night. You sit there in front of the blank page, and there's something not inviting, or I guess maybe it could be very inviting to some. For me, it kind of slows me up. Angie, how do you get started? How do you suggest people get started when they have a blank page? Where can they start a doodle if they're new at doodling?
It is intimidating, the white page, whether you're writing or doing some kind of art. So for me, I've graduated from a small pad up to this one, and next I just bought myself an even larger pad. But the way to conquer that intimidation of the white page is just starting out with a simple, sometimes it'll help you to make a frame. Just frame around your page and let your mind wander and start off with a simple pattern. It could be, not that your flower is simple, but the beautiful sunflower you put on your page and then you doodled all around it and inside of it, that is the excellent way to start. But just start off with some pattern or focal point.
Here's mine. That's what I doodle.
Yay, I love it. Hold it up.
Yeah, I've got it. So there's your maze. And what are the, oh, look at the little things that are on the bottom. It's not like, is that like a barbed wire or just like a?
I don't know. That's just the kind of stuff that if I'm going to doodle, it used to be just like, sometimes they're circular and sometimes they're suns and moons and things like that. But a lot of times they're this kind of thing, and they will fill up a whole page of mazes and square, you know, whatever those things are. But that's how I doodle when I doodle, I guess. So.
Yeah, I like the circle there, though. They added the circle to soften it or something like that. One of the problems I have is I'd like to do paisley, but I keep making sperm. What is a paisley just with a sperm without a tail, maybe? Or a paisley has a little curl back?
I'm not sure. I use modified, all kind of versions of paisleys. I'm sure the paisley enthusiast and purist wouldn't approve of this as a paisley, but the best
paisley to me.
Well, oh, thank you. Just pull up on Paisley under images and look at a bunch of them and maybe even print some out. There are Google pages, free printable, that you can print out and start like that, like inside the lines, and make it your own design. And Kat, yours is a good doodle. You can do geometric shapes and lines. It doesn't have to be a floral, flowery thing to be a doodle. It's whatever unleashes the other side of your brain while this one is occupied with drawing.
Okay, so we have a blank piece of paper. Kat,
Okay.
Do you have a blank piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. And Angie, any suggestions? Like if you're at the Doodlers and Dabbers, which we cannot go to because we don't live in Baton Rouge, but it's a group that Angie has in Baton Rouge. How do they start? Do you just say, grab your pen and go, or is there a prompt? Or
Nope, that's exactly what we do. Sit down, get a beverage, and just start doodling. And it's something about being inspired by a big group of people sitting at a table, like 10 to 20 people. They're working. It's just like, it's the same thing as brain, I think. Everybody together, that creative energy just sparks you to start something. But after you have your design, all you do is, it's a matter of adding to it. Your basic design, then you add another smaller design in. You see the little pink hearts looking thing? And then you maybe circle around those and add some more color, and then you color in the background. That's the way I do it most of the time. But if I'll also do a word. I'll put a word somewhere on the page, a big word like joy or create or hey cat or whatever, and start doodling around that. That's more like we used to doodle while you were on the long card telephone and you're just doodling, or your boyfriend in 7th grade's name that you wrote all over your notebooks. You could start with a word, a simple focal point, or like you did, Ann. Hold yours up again with the flower.
And what I did with that actually is I started with the center of the flower. So let me find mine.
And it just grew and grew and grew.
These were little tiny circles, so I started with that little tiny circle in the center and just kept making circles around to make the center. But see, my little pasties look either like olives or swimming sperm or fish or something, so I've got to find out more about pasties because I think they're pretty when you get them done right.
You know, sperm is actually good for your hair and stuff. It's been proven. I just got to throw that little tidbit out.
Something about Mary.
Is that what's all over your hair this morning?
Can't take it anywhere.
Yes, I did condition my hair last night, and I forgot that I had this morning. So I'm looking rather
Earthy. How's that? Okay, back to the.
Oh Lordy.
So we can start with a frame.
Or you can start with a word, and just like you did your flower, it grows and grows and grows. And it's organic. At least to me. Some people might start out with a plan or a plot. Mine just grows and becomes whatever it wants to be.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a shape. And it's not going to be a paisley.
And I'm doing something a little different this morning. It doesn't really have, I'm going to leave that little square rectangle blank so I can write messages in there, but I'm just doing different patterns on the page in different areas, like a quadrant off certain areas, and doing different patterns inside those.
And so here's where I'm starting. I'm starting with hearts.
There you go.
Hearts go. Kat, do you have anything starting you want to hold up from your closet?
I do. I have this.
Love, sex, and hate. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and see, the hate has little hearts and things around it because, and love is like, you know, cranky faces.
Okay.
And always put a blotter page behind, even though I'm using mixed media paper that's thicker. I always put a blotter sheet behind it.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, and then I keep them because they turn into a design.
I would frame that.
I'll send you all my
I like that one right there.
See, you like the chaos more than the pretty even design.
I do. I like that chaos. I would frame that one right there.
I'll send this to you.
Thank you. I will frame it.
So Angie, tell us about your Dabblers group. Maybe other people would even like to form Dabblers groups or Doodlers or whatever your name is.
Doodlers and Dabblers. Just invited a bunch of women, and guys too. It's not all women. A bunch of people that like to get busy with their Sharpies, watercolor pencils, crayons, colors, whatever they're using. So we just get together every other week in a local coffee house, or last Thursday we met somewhere where they had food and Cajun music. So we haven't found our home yet where we're going to meet finally, but it's just a chance to get together, and as doodling is great therapy, it just sometimes it unleashes something in people. It seems like every once in a while somebody will let out some information they need help with or a problem they're having. And we do some problem solving and some brainstorming along with just doodling.
So do people talk then while they're doodling?
Yes, absolutely.
Because as opposed to a writer's group, when you're writing, during like the flash writing times, you're really all supposed to be quiet.
Right.
So this is then almost very different because you're encouraged to talk while you're doodling.
Right. It's more of a free-form expression. I've facilitated writing groups before. That's where I re-met Kat at Barnes & Noble Writers Group. But you're right. You're in a group of people, but when you're writing, you're quiet and concentrating on that writing exercise. But doodling is something totally different. It seems to unleash some therapeutic part of your brain that wants to connect with other people.
And that's why in the closet we're having sex, love, and hate.
Right.
Yeah. See,
Doing her
I almost
own.
like to doodle and I seem to like to write words inside when when I'm doing the structured doodle instead of my mazes. When you said you write a word, I apparently like to write like words inside, and then if I was to color it, I would go from there. So
I
is
wish you
that
would.
doodling too?
Yes, absolutely. That's doodling. I'm gonna find the doodle I made. Let's see, with writing in it.
So, Kat, you didn't know you were such a doodler. See, you were kind of scoffing, I think, at us for doodling, and you're the
I
queen.
was not scoffing. I was
Yeah.
discombobulated about it. Anything structured terrifies me when I know I can do something structured. And look at how beautiful y'all's are.
Oh, here comes. Yeah, there's
no.
Angie.
This was
Oh,
this was during a Creative Louisiana gathering where they had different speakers speaking on creativity. So of course I brought my pad and my Sharpie, so I was getting busy writing down some of those key ideas. And when I got home, I just filled in the background and added some of this and some of that. But absolutely, are doodling. There's no rules. That's what you should love about doodling. No rules.
Yeah, I like the words thing. I like the words, putting words and then doing something around them.
Right. Your
That
word
would appeal to me. But I can guarantee you mine's not going to look like yours looks.
No,
Mine will
that's
never
right.
look like
Nobody,
that.
no two will look alike. No two.
and one of the things too, Kat, is you are a wordsmith. You're a great storyteller, so maybe, obviously that's why the words are the things that pop out in your doodles.
That's
Yeah,
right, man.
my doodles. If I would have to tell a story, or else it would just be a bunch of chaotic swirlings and mazes and stuff that uh, spiraling out and all that. But if I could put words in and make a story out of it, and then go from there. Now mine are never going to be beautiful. They're probably they're probably pretty damn ugly.
Not true. Not true. Not true.
But
I
I
wonder
would
too.
still have fun. I could do that, and I could see that being therapeutic for me. In fact, I'm wondering if I did something like that to help me when I'm blocked in a story, or I don't really believe in writer's block necessarily, but sometimes you do get kind of stuck on something, or you're not sure about something. I wonder if I took out pen and paper and did like I did with this, like wrote down characters' names or whatever I was having trouble with, and spiraled it out and did something from there. If that would allow me to figure out where I needed to go in my story. So
Absolutely.
that's a thought, to connect the doodling thing with my writing. I may try
the
that,
best
because
tool.
I don't want to
Best tool for that.
discount anything that might work.
It's helping you
Pardon?
focus and come up. It's an excellent problem-solving tool. I read another study on that. People who doodle when they get stuck in a project or whatever they're working on, like they hit a brick wall, if they start doodling, it's something about different part of your brain is unleashed and open, and it will find solutions to whatever your problem is. So that'd be great for writing.
Yeah,
And
I'd be willing to try, especially when I write something plot based, which I've only written really one book that was plot based. But even in my character driven stuff, there's times when something just isn't right. Like I'll wake up and think this just isn't right. So maybe before I even get out of bed, I just have a paper and pen or something by my bed, and I just start to kind of freestyle doodle it out and see what comes of it, and see, it's kind of that thing, like you said, when you're in the shower or doing something mindless like that,
Right.
it may give me a solution.
Right. Absolutely, it will. I promise you it will. Just try it. In my classroom, I think I talked about this last week, when my special needs students were drawing or flapping paper or looking through magazines, whatever, I knew that they were concentrating, and I never discouraged them from doing that. I always let them have something in their hands because it really did help them focus and retain information.
Like when you did this, like when we took the books when I was in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And I circled the words and made the poem out of it.
Right.
And then I never did get to color around it, but that was awesome. I really enjoyed that a lot. That was an awesome class, Angie. So.
Thank you. I'm fixing to do a 4-part workshop on that, so
yeah,
it'll be fun. But bring your book with you the next time you have some wait, like at a doctor's appointment or anybody who commutes or whatever. It's excellent because you have it right handy with you to get busy with.
You have one there to show us, Angie?
I can go get it while y'all are doodling.
Okay. You know, one of the things, Kat, I thought too, if you are going to doodle about a confusion in a plot or something, the way you use your words might even pop out different words that will unleash something else too. So if you're drawing about a character, the words that come out will be words that you may even use in your writing. You know,
well, it's true. Yeah, something, that's why, we have those writing exercises, and we tell people to sometimes just to sit down and just start writing and don't stop, because what happens is you're not as self-conscious, you more go into the unconscious, and you just never know what's going to come out from that. So I would imagine just sitting there with your pen on the paper would do the same thing. So I bet they also have, I know they do apps out there where people can actually do it on their phones or their tablets, where they could do these kind of things if they didn't want to do it the old-fashioned way on old-fashioned way on paper and pen. They could do it through an app.
Right. Okay, I got my book that I've been working on for 2 or 3 years now. Treated text, visual poetry, doodling. It just incorporates a little bit of everything. Found poetry. You circle the words on the prose that's already printed on a magazine sheet or whatever, or in a book, and you make your own poem.
So what you're doing is that a page of a book, Angie?
Yeah, double page in this hardback old book that I saved from the thrift shop. So we're repurposing them.
Wow.
Page. But you can do anything. Use paint, 3D. Things. Here's one page I doodled on and stuck on these little 3D butterflies. Watercolor. So you see where a basic doodle can take you into many other things. I had this one published in a magazine. Elizabeth Taylor, a picture I found over in a magazine, and just made like a talk bubble coming out of her mouth, and she's saying the words that I circled.
What's she
saying?
All
of that is in a book, yeah.
She's saying, now I must pass as mistress, mother, friend, brother. You will be the barrier, refusing to exchange letters of romantic declarations. And that was from a whole page in a small book.
That's pretty awesome. See, I like that. That appeals to me best of all is the words and the books and making something. Even though I'm all chaotic and everything, I like eventually for something to make sense for me,
right?
Because of all the chaos. So if I could take something that's kind of already structured, make it, and then make it my own through the chaos. I don't even know if that made sense, but it did to me.
Just take a newspaper page or a magazine and get your Sharpies out on it, and amazing things will pour forth.
It's been great. So far, this is what I have for my doodle. So I'll be picking up my doodle. I guess then the next thing I should do is get a second symbol to put around if I'm going to follow this kind of a plan.
Or explode out your heart some more first, with the echoing rings or a circle or starbursts behind them, so there's not so much area to cover with small designs.
Explode out your heart more.
There you go.
I love that. Explode
I think
out
I
your
need
heart
to do that. I think maybe Kat, I don't know. I think we need some heart explosions. Explode out your heart more. Maybe that'll be the words I use. Explode out your heart, Marlon.
Here's one for us all. It says, be happy. Did you see how much of the paper those words took up? And then I didn't have to decorate or doodle around it very much. So words, if words are your thing, get busy with them.
This has been great, and anybody who is inspired to doodle, send us your doodles. You can post it on probably Angie Ledbetter's Facebook page. Send it to her or my Facebook page. Kat, you have to send words to. So if you have any words that you've done, send them to Kat. But I hope that this has shown all of us. It really has opened my eyes. I think last week, you wondered what I thought of the show. I was just stunned at the power of the doodle, Angie. I was almost speechless, just thinking, coming from the fact that I was always in trouble for doodling, and then realizing the whole world of unleashing creativity, which I love that concept. So I'm a doodle maniac now. Next week we're going to be talking about publishing. And Kat, we'd really like to be picking your brain as well on traditional versus independent, the strengths of each, the challenges of each, the changes maybe in the publishing world. I know Angie and I will be popping in with our thoughts, but we're kind of stepping into your closet on the publishing. So that'll be our topic next week. And I think by the time we finish that and come back, we should do some visual poetry.
All right. Sounds great.
So there's a lot of fun going on in our coffee group, ladies. And thank you very much for being here. Kat, I hope you feel better and continue your doodles. Is there anything more on your sex and hate and love doodle that you finished?
Well, no, I just I had to do some mazes because I took, that's just me.
You needed to lock them in. You needed to lock them in. Yeah, well, you need to let your heart expand. Let your heart expand out.
Explode.
Explode.
More explode.
Explode. Angie, thank you so much for opening the world of the doodle to us. It's really been fun.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's kind of life-changing, actually, I think.
I love that anybody can do it. All you need is one crayon, a pencil, and a piece of paper, and you're off.
You're off. Wonderful. Take care, ladies. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week for coffee.